Tonight, a powerful Arctic blast is sweeping across the United States, sending a wave of frigid air and dangerous conditions from coast to coast. This is not just another winter storm. This is a weather event of historic proportions, one that meteorologists have been tracking for days as it gathered strength over the northern plains and surged southward. The storm is bringing relentless snow, treacherous ice, and life-threatening cold to millions of Americans. Streets that were bustling just hours ago are now blanketed in white, as communities brace for what could be days of disruption and hardship. Nearly half the country, over 160 million people, are under winter weather alerts, spanning more than 30 states from the Rockies to the East Coast. From the Great Plains to the bustling cities of the Northeast, no region is untouched by the reach of this Arctic front. The air has a biting edge, stinging exposed skin and making even the shortest walk outside a challenge. This is a storm that's more than just an inconvenience. It's a true test of endurance, patience, and preparation for everyone in its path. The National Weather Service is warning of life-threatening cold, with wind chills plunging well below zero in many areas. Officials are urging everyone to take this seriously, as frostbite and hypothermia can set in within minutes. This storm will disrupt daily life, forcing businesses and schools to close, shutting down cities, and putting vulnerable populations, like the elderly and the homeless, at greatest risk. Emergency shelters are opening their doors, and volunteers are working tirelessly to help those in need. In some areas, blinding snow will make travel impossible, stranding motorists and halting public transportation. In others, freezing rain will coat everything in a dangerous layer of ice, threatening power lines, trees, and causing widespread outages that could last for days. For almost everyone, a deep, penetrating cold will test our infrastructure. Pipes may freeze, heating systems will be pushed to their limits, and the demand for electricity will soar. Communities are being urged to conserve energy and check on neighbors, especially those who may be isolated or without adequate heat. The time to prepare is now. Across the nation, families are stocking up on essentials, assembling emergency kits, and making sure they have enough food, water, and supplies to last through the storm. Shovels and salt are flying off store shelves as people brace for what's ahead. Across the country, communities are coming together and emergency crews are working around the clock. First responders are on high alert, ready to assist those in need, while warming centers and shelters are opening to provide refuge from the cold. The next few days will be critical. Decisions like staying off the roads, checking on elderly neighbors, and heeding official warnings could save lives. Authorities are urging everyone to avoid unnecessary travel, and to look out for one another as the storm intensifies. This is a moment for caution and preparation as the Arctic blast unleashes its full force. The coming hours will bring howling winds, heavy snow, and bitter cold that will test the resolve of even the most seasoned winter veterans. Our correspondents are on the ground, reporting on the immense challenges and the resilience of those affected. From families huddled together for warmth, to utility workers braving the elements, stories of courage and community are emerging in the face of adversity. The storm's impact will be felt in every aspect of life, from transportation delays and flight cancellations to power and water disruptions. Travelers are being urged to check for updates, and utility crews are preparing for long nights ahead. The warnings are clear. Take action now to protect yourself and your loved ones. Follow safety instructions, stay informed, and be ready to adapt as conditions change rapidly. The nation is bracing for a storm that will be remembered for years to come. Memories of past blizzards remind us of the importance of preparation and the strength of community in times of crisis. Stay tuned as we track this historic Arctic onslaught, bringing you the latest updates, expert analysis, and stories of resilience from across the country. The days ahead will be challenging, but together we will weather the storm. This massive weather system began its journey far to the north, deep within the Arctic Circle, where frigid air and swirling winds set the stage for what would become a historic event. As the system gathered strength, it absorbed energy from the polar jet stream, growing larger and more powerful with each passing hour. Soon, the storm surged southward, barreling across the Canadian border and sweeping down over the United States. Meteorologists tracked its relentless progress as it carved a path straight through the heart of the continent, bringing with it a dramatic drop in temperatures. The first areas to feel its wrath were the high plains and the rugged Rocky Mountains. There, the storm unleashed blizzard conditions, with howling winds and whiteout visibility, before pushing steadily eastward. Communities braced as a wall of cold air and heavy precipitation advanced, transforming landscapes overnight. Forecasters are now predicting over a foot of snow will blanket a vast corridor stretching from Colorado all the way to upstate New York. In some areas, snowdrifts could reach several feet, making travel nearly impossible and threatening to isolate entire neighborhoods. States like Kansas, Missouri, and Kentucky are already bracing for major disruptions. Schools have announced closures, businesses are shuttering early, and roads are expected to become treacherous as the snow piles up and visibility drops. The National Weather Service is calling this potentially the biggest snowstorm in years, urging residents to take warnings seriously and prepare for extended periods indoors. What makes this storm especially dangerous is the way it draws in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, colliding with the bitter Arctic air. This volatile mix is creating not just heavy snow, but also bands of sleet and freezing rain, coating everything in a layer of ice. The boundary between snow and ice will shift hour by hour, creating hazardous conditions for millions. Roads will become slick and dangerous, while power lines and trees risk being weighed down by accumulating ice. Emergency services across the region are preparing for days of challenges. Crews are on standby, ready to respond to accidents, power outages, and calls for help as the storm continues its relentless march. The entire region is now on high alert. Residents are glued to weather updates, watching as the storm's unpredictable path unfolds and new warnings are issued by the hour. This is a classic winter pattern, but the sheer intensity and scale of this system are anything but ordinary. Winds are expected to gust at dangerous speeds, and snowfall rates could break records in several states. Across the country, millions are now waiting and preparing for what's to come, stocking up on supplies, checking emergency kits, and making sure loved ones are safe. As the storm continues its coast-to-coast journey, the nation watches and waits, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. This Arctic blast is targeting major metropolitan areas, not just rural regions. For millions of people living in bustling cities, the threat is immediate and severe. The storm is sweeping across urban centers that rarely see such intense winter weather, catching many off guard and forcing city officials to act quickly. Cities from the Midwest to the East Coast, like Memphis, Nashville, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York, are bracing for heavy snow and dangerous cold. These cities, known for their vibrant life and constant activity, are now preparing for a rare standstill. Local governments are issuing warnings, and emergency services are on high alert as the storm approaches. Even a few inches can paralyze cities unaccustomed to winter storms, leading to gridlocked traffic, stranded vehicles, and treacherous sidewalks. For many residents, commuting becomes nearly impossible, and daily routines are thrown into chaos. While up to 10 inches could bring federal operations and daily life to a halt, even lesser amounts can close schools, businesses, and government offices. The economic impact of such a shutdown is significant, affecting everything from small businesses to major corporations. The extreme cold following the snow is a grave concern, especially for the homeless and vulnerable. As temperatures plummet, the risk of frostbite and hypothermia rises dramatically, putting lives at risk for those without adequate shelter or resources. Shelters are expanding capacity, but the risk remains high. Volunteers and city workers are working around the clock to provide warm meals, blankets, and safe spaces. But the demand often outpaces the available resources during such extreme events. Urban infrastructure, power grids, water mains, transit will be pushed to the limit. Ice accumulation can snap power lines, water mains may burst, and public transit systems can grind to a halt, leaving thousands without heat, water, or reliable transportation. Officials urge residents to stay home and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Emergency declarations are being issued, and city leaders are emphasizing the importance of keeping roads clear for first responders and utility crews. Public transportation will face delays and cancellations, upending city routines. Commuters should expect long waits, rerouted buses, and limited train service, making it difficult for many to get to work or return home safely. The focus is on safety and ensuring essential services continue. Emergency crews are working tirelessly to clear roads, restore power, and respond to urgent calls, often risking their own safety in the process. Residents are being asked to check on neighbors and prepare for extended disruptions. Community support is more important than ever, as people band together to help the elderly, disabled, and those living alone. The storm's impact will be felt in every corner of these cities. From downtown skyscrapers to quiet neighborhoods, the snow and cold will touch everyone, changing the rhythm of urban life for days to come. Preparation and caution are the keys to weathering this urban winter crisis. Stocking up on essentials, staying informed, and looking out for one another will help cities endure the storm and recover more quickly once the skies finally clear. The snow and ice are visible threats, but the real danger is the life-threatening cold. Wind chills in the northern plains could drop below -50, where frostbite can occur in minutes. Hypothermia is a risk even indoors if heating fails, especially for the elderly and young children. The cold will reach deep into the southeast, where homes aren't built for such temperatures. Frozen pipes are a major concern. Burst pipes can cause flooding and costly damage. Officials urge everyone to let faucets drip and keep cabinets open to prevent freezing. Freezing rain in the south will coat roads and power lines in ice, leading to outages and dangerous travel. The weight of ice can snap branches and bring down power lines, leaving people without heat. Black ice on roads is nearly invisible and extremely hazardous. The combination of cold, ice, and outages creates a perilous situation for millions. Preparation is essential to avoid disaster. The invisible threat of cold is as dangerous as the storm itself. Governors in states like Arkansas, Georgia, Texas, and the Carolinas have declared states of emergency. This unlocks resources, mobilizes the National Guard, and allows for rapid response. The National Guard is assisting with clearing roads, transporting supplies, and setting up warming centers. These declarations pave the way for federal aid if needed. Early action ensures states can get help quickly and underscores the seriousness of the threat. Public warnings are clear. Take preparation seriously and follow official directives. Restrictions on travel and business operations are in place to minimize risk. It's a comprehensive response to protect lives and infrastructure as the Arctic blast hits. The storm is creating travel chaos nationwide, with major delays and cancellations at airports and on roads. Authorities urge everyone, if you don't need to travel, stay home. Airlines are offering waivers, and airports from Denver to New York are bracing for shutdowns. Snowplows and salt trucks can't keep up with the snowfall, and freezing rain is creating black ice in the south. State police report a surge in accidents and are restricting commercial vehicles on key highways. Southern states face shortages of de-icing materials, making road clearing slow. The deep cold is stranding vehicles and drivers, compounding the danger. For the next several days, travel in the eastern U.S. will be risky and uncertain. The safest choice is to stay off the roads and avoid unnecessary trips. The message is clear. Safety comes first, as the storm continues. Memories of the 2021 Texas freeze loom large as this Arctic blast hits. That storm left millions without power and water, causing hundreds of deaths and billions in damage. The crisis exposed vulnerabilities in the power grid and water systems. Now, officials nationwide are taking extra precautions, winterizing equipment, and preparing crews. Still, high demand and potential damage could strain systems again. Residents are urged to conserve energy and protect pipes to avoid a repeat of past disasters. The lessons of 2021 remind us, preparation and vigilance are critical. Preparation is essential. Stay informed with local weather updates and emergency alerts. Have an emergency kit ready. Flashlights, batteries, radio, first aid supplies, and fully charged phones. Stock up on non-perishable food and bottled water for several days. Keep blankets and warm clothing accessible in case of power loss. Protect your home. Let faucets drip. Open cabinet doors and know how to shut off your water. Use space heaters safely. Keep them away from flammable items and never leave them unattended. Check on neighbors, especially the elderly or those with medical needs. If you must go outside, dress in layers and cover exposed skin. Watch for signs of frostbite or hypothermia. The best advice: stay indoors, stay warm, and stay safe until the storm passes. Community support and preparation can save lives. The big question: how long will this last? Forecasts show the cold will grip the eastern U.S. well into next week. Even after the snow stops, the deep freeze will strain power grids and challenge recovery efforts. Prolonged cold means cumulative problems: frozen ground, high energy demand, and extended outages. Canada is also feeling the effects, highlighting the vast reach of this Arctic air mass. This is a shared experience, testing resilience across borders. The storm connects us to past events and underscores the need for preparation. The end date is uncertain, but caution and community support remain vital. We'll continue to bring updates as we navigate this historic winter event together.